Yes, boys, your boy AJ knows ball. And the way I know ball is crazy. Whew. What a game of football. Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1. What a game of football. Top quality football from both teams. Let's get straight into it. That first half, yes, Bayern Munich started with the ball. Yes, they had 70% possession. But at the end of the day, it's about what you do with the possession. Did they do anything with it? Not really. Arsenal win a corner, and what do they always do? They take advantage. Saka into the ball, then whipped balls in from Saka. And honestly, I'm telling you, lot, you see them crosses from Saka, the corners, the way he whips the ball in, it's like playing in wind. You know when you're playing in wind, you just know if you kick the ball as hard as you can against the wind, it's going to naturally just curve back in. That is exactly how Saka's corners feel like. The way he whips it in with the viciousness, the pace on it, there's nothing you can do. And Neuer tried to come out, but there was just nothing you can do. And Timber, Timber got his head to it, and another excellent display. Nothing comes down Timber's right-hand side because he's just so solid. And I told you lot about Timber yesterday when I made the video with him and Reece James. But no, you lot don't listen. What did he go and do? He put in another performance up and down the pitch, and he scored. Dunked on Reece James. Reece James, fight back. Obviously, when two top quality sides are going, you're bound to see some top quality football. And what did Bayern Munich do? They turned it on a bit. Kimmich gets on the ball. Serge Gnabry drifts over to the right-hand side. And what does Kimmich do? He finds a pass over the top. An amazing through ball into Serge Gnabry. He doesn't need too much. One-touch football into Carl, and Carl puts it in the back of the net. However, one thing I would like to highlight is Lewis Skelly. I told you a lot about his weakness in some earlier TikToks, and what happened? That ball in behind over his head. It's not even the specific ball. If anything, it's the run that Serge Gnabry made. I've noticed that about Lewis Skelly. That running behind, when he plays against strikers that don't really want to get the ball to feet and want to kind of run in behind you, that's when he struggles. The Jacob Murphy type players. And I've said this before. But I'll be honest, today might be one of Lewis Skelly's worst performances because not only did he get beat by the ball over the top, Serge Gnabry, and not track his runner properly, but Elise was having his way with him at times in terms of 1v1 dribbling. Even Carl had his way with him. It's like all three of them just took turns. Gnabry took his turn, Carl took his turn, Elise took his turn. I even think Arteta left it a bit too long to bring on Calafiori, but who am I to say that when they won 3-1? That being said, Eze in that first half, what a joy to watch. The skills he had on show, the nutmeg he put on a Upamecano, the way he was able to just cut through their midfield at times. He should have scored, to be honest. Eze, put that in the back of the net. Just don't be sweating that to Saka. I want you to put that in the back of the net. Speaking of Saka, I just need more from you. Like, I feel like Lima was there for the taking, and I just need you to do more. Even the ball over the top that you received, where you took it down. If that's a better first touch, you're in behind and you're going to score. But Gnabry just managed to get a toe on it. Same with Elise on the other wing. Bro, I just need to see more. Keeping in mind, Lewis Skelly was there for the taking today. The guy was running like Manu. Take him on, running behind him, cause him a headache. I just feel like the ball was a bit, I just feel like Elise wanted the ball to feet a bit too much today. With that being said, it's great to see how top teams like to joust each other because the balls in behind that Bayern Munich started playing when they clocked that there was space in behind Arsenal's defence. But what a display from Arsenal though. In that second half, they absolutely took control of the game. And one big reason for that was Zubimendi. Zubimendi got on the ball and he absolutely dictated it. And I know you lot are probably surprised thinking, wow, AJ's giving Zubimendi credit. I'll be real, I don't have agendas, I just say what I see. One thing I didn't like about Zubimendi when I first watched him was Man City game, Liverpool game, Man United game. The guy just wasn't getting on the board dictating it. I was seeing Rice deeper than him at times, having to try and get them to play. But Arteta brought Zubimendi into this team to be the dictator, which means when I watch him, I need to see him drop between the centre backs, get on the ball, and make the team tick. And today, he showed why Arsenal may not miss Odegaard when Odegaard's not playing if Zubimendi's at his best, because Zubimendi went between the centre backs today and absolutely dictated it in the second half. He got on the ball, found passes around the corner, he found the switch of play, he found diags, he found the floaters over the top. He's done the line breaking pass. He's done everything that you need for a midfielder like him on the ball. And when you have a midfielder like him that can play on the ball at that speed and that intensity, it allows midfielders like Declan Rice to just be the all-action midfielder that he needs to be and not have to worry about the build-up play as much. Because when Declan Rice was getting on the ball, yes, he was finding them like breaking passes. Yes, he was getting the ball. Yes, he was driving with the ball. And I'll be honest, that was a great performance from Declan Rice. And people might think, oh, but AJ, you're a Declan Rice hater. No. I just say what I see. And honestly, one thing I did say at the start of the season was, if this Zubimendi Declan Rice thing is going to work, it can't be that Declan Rice is just playing as an advanced eight and leaving Zubimendi on his ones. It needs to be like like a partnership, like they're in tandem in a double pivot where yes, Zubimendi will be deeper, but Declan Rice is there to cover at times. Declan Rice is there to still be a six, but also to break forward and be an eight at times. And I think they've got their partnership to perfection right now. Whereas Declan Rice is still there to break up play, do his defensive duties, but also he's breaking forward, able to dribble the ball. The dribble he went on where he almost scored, wow. Wow. And not gonna lie to you, that goal, if Declan Rice had scored, would have come from somebody that doesn't get talked about enough. David Raya. Some of his passing is absolutely ridiculous. David Raya, he can ping the ball from his hand, he can hit sidewinders. Today he hit a ball straight into Madueke. And Madueke was able to bring it down and play in Declan Rice, and that's when Declan Rice went in behind. But not only just that, he can also play the floated pass over the top. Do you know how hard it is for a goalkeeper to be able to kick the ball from his 6 yard box all the way over the opposition's centre backs' heads and let those strikers or wingers run in behind? That ball is absolutely ridiculous, which is why I say not just with his hands, but with his feet. David Raya is absolutely phenomenal. I'll be honest with you. One of the best goalkeepers in the world. One thing I do want to say though is I want to give Arteta his flowers because the substitutions to bring on Martinelli, I told you lot earlier in the season. Now that you guys have squad depth, Martinelli as a super sub is basically a new signing. And when he came on the pitch, or even before he came on the pitch, I was telling my boy Richie, I literally think that if you bring on Martinelli, this is a Martinelli game. And what happened? Eze, ball over the top, Martinelli runs in behind, gets there before Neuer, goal. Am I surprised? Not a chance. Let's touch on Bayern Munich. In that second half, everything that I thought would be wrong with Bayern Munich when I saw the team sheet is what I saw in the second half. Because without Luis Diaz, it just feels like Bayern Munich's attack just doesn't have enough. And it's similar to last season when they had Coman and Sane and they weren't really performing as well as they usually do, or like one of them will be injured or both of them will be injured. And you're looking at the Bayern Munich team, you're just thinking to yourself, Elise and Kane are just not enough. Yes, I like Serge Gnabry, but I like him when he's playing in a central area. This season, the reason why companies had so much success is because he's had the players like Luis Diaz and Elise on the wing, but he's also had Serge Gnabry to play as if he's a second striker. And I think when Serge Gnabry plays in that number 10, he basically plays as a second striker. So when Harry Kane drops into midfield and does all those deep runs, you still have a player like Serge Gnabry that can run behind, that can expose the backline, that can maybe even stretch the backline when Harry Kane is not there, occupy those areas. However, when Serge Gnabry is on the wing, he offers little to nothing, in my opinion. Yes, he'll make those runs in behind at times, and you may be able to find him. But if you're giving him the ball to his feet, he's not going to beat the fullback 1v1, especially not Timber. I do like Carl. Obviously, he's a good number 10, but that he is a number 10. So even though he does make those forward runs at times and he does try to occupy them spaces, he just naturally isn't going to be there all the time. However, that leads me to say this. Harry Kane, what are you going to do for me? When your team really needs you, when it's time to step up, what are you going to do for me? Don't get twisted. I'm not going to say Harry Kane never turns up in a big game at all. However, when you can't do anything for your team through goals and assists, what are you doing for your team? And I say this about Harry Kane so much. When your team needs you outside of goals and assists, what are you going to do? Why are you playing right back? Why are you playing centre defensive attacking midfield? Brother, you're a striker. It's not all the time you're going to be able to drop in and do those long balls over the top that you lot like to cause players link up play, because it really isn't. Those long balls over the top only work when you've got runners in your team. When Luis Diaz is not on the pitch, when you don't have a Song Heung-min and that ball is not on, what can you do for me? Harry Kane, hold up the ball, get your team higher at the pitch, get onto the last centre back, make runs in behind. Just do something. How can I see Harry Kane shielding the ball in front of Declan Rice in his own half? Why are you even there? Let your midfielders get on the ball and get yourselves up the pitch. That is just not something that you should be doing. And this is why I try to say to you, I will always take a striker like Drogba or Benzema over Harry Kane. Because at the end of the day, these are the things that you need from your striker. You're not always going to be able to score goals. You're not always going to be able to have assists. That's just the thing with strikers play. That's why you see ex-professionals tell you, oh, he was so good off the ball. He done so much for the team. He ran channels. He did that. He did this. I'm not saying Harry Kane never does these things, but it's just too often when it comes to these elite games, I'm needing Harry Kane to just do a bit more for his team, and he's just not there to do those certain little things. Today he was absolutely ghost. Today he absolutely ghosted. That performance from Harry Kane was absolutely dreadful in my opinion. Yes, he was against probably the best defense in the world. But come on, you can do way more than that. You're an elite player. Unless you lot are going to tell me that the stage was just too big for him, that the standard was just too high. But then I have to ask you, so is Harry Kane as good as you lot think he is? That's a question for you to answer. I know the answer already. I need to see more from you. But all in all, it was a great display from Arsenal. It was two top quality teams going at it, and Arsenal were just the better side on the day. But Bayern fans, let me know. Do you think Arsenal are actually better than you, or was it just the fact that you had players like Luis Diaz out, Jamal Musiala out? Arsenal, let me know. Are you guys the real deal this season? Was that a statement putting down? Champions League, I'm coming for you. Premier League, we're here. Is it a thing where it's not just the title that Arsenal can go for this season? Is it a thing where you guys can go for multiple trophies this season? Let me know. Has something changed in the air? Your players coming back like Odegaard. You've got players like Havertz and Jesus soon to be back. Calafiori came on today. What a cross from Calafiori today into Madueke, by the way. And that just shows you, as soon as Calafiori came on the pitch, Elise was no longer a threat. The little threat that he was showing, Calafiori, what a level up he is from Lewis Skelly. That ball in behind for Madueke on the full charge, first time cross, absolutely amazing. It looks like Arsenal have a real good squad. Even when it's time to play football, it looks like you lot are ready to play football. The fact that you've got everyone back, there really is no excuses. Arsenal have to win the league. Arsenal fans, let me know. Is this your time? We'll have to find out. But one thing we do know for certain is AJ knows ball.